What's something you're glad your friend introduced you to? Rock climbing. It's become my favorite form of exercise, not to mention how fun it is. Oh my god, me too. And then through climbing I've met some of the most incredible people. Not to mention how enjoyable and addictive it is. Everyone I've met climbing is so genuinely cool. Such a fun sport. People who run and people who climb are like specific type of people, dude. Sometimes they do both. There are just certain activities that humans do that truly become addicting for some. I've recently rediscovered my exercise addiction. I missed it so much. Through running and, new to me, hiking. I love hiking. I live in a state that has very accessible and great hiking, and I've never taken advantage of it till now. Better late than never, but man, I'm having the time of my life hiking and getting back in shape. I unfortunately only got into rock climbing after lockdown started, where I am sad face, Magnus Midno. I've actually been training my grip strength and upper body here at home to surprise friends when we finally do go to a climbing gym, smiley face. He introduced me to his closest friends, all really great people. Now we all have good times together and share so many things of mutual interest. It's really opened up my world in a way I hadn't previously thought possible. That's beautiful. The best gift anyone can get is new friends. Or maybe second best. A flamethrower would be pretty damn hard to beat. Not gonna lie, that flamethrower though. Yep. What about 2 flamethrowers? Hear me out. 2 flamethrowers and a propane tank. What about 2 flamethrowers and 2 propane tanks? New music. It's always hard for me to figure out what I like, and they helped give me so much from the experiences I got out of it. Same. I don't have much musical culture, and thanks to them I could discover some lesser known artists and new genres. I love when my 18-year-old asks me about music. But even better is that he turns me on to some fantastic stuff. It's amazing what all they find these days. Mint Jams by Cassiopeia is some great road music. 70s Japanese funk band introduced by my kid. Weird, and I love it. I mostly listen to electronic music now, and it all started because I had a variety of friends share with me different artists making very different styles. There's such an insane number of genres and unique sounds out there, so being able to find some that resonate with me is really exciting. Me too, and before coronavirus we'd go to concerts and festivals all the time. I feel like everything I like was introduced. I'm at discovering things on my own. But I'll say sushi. This. I was always the guy who gave people the Karen stare because they ate raw food. Until one day my friend told me to shut up and just try a piece. Now I'm planning to gorge myself on sushi as soon as the lockdown ends. Same here. Life isn't the same without fresh sushi. D&D. I would have never played otherwise, and it's so much fun. Same. For years, my friend from university suggested we play D&D during a weekend. Every time, I shot him down. Pretending to be an orc or an elf or whatever the frick wasn't my idea of a good time. Then a couple of years ago someone I was dating introduced me to it, and it was dope. Kill some goblins, eat some cheese, drink some beers. I'm not sure if it was the fact that I was older or the fact that I'd finally got over myself a little bit, but I got way into it. Like, way into it. Like, a file of notes thicker than some novels into it. I finally got a chance to DM for the friend who'd kept pushing it all those years ago. We are at opposite ends of the country now, and it was incredibly fun, even with the 10,000 what I told you so grin he had the whole time. Sleep. Seriously. I stayed up all night, had itty sleep hygiene and poor mental health. We lived together for 6 months and she helped me get on a sleep routine. Changed my life. It's incredible just how much difference a decent sleep schedule can make. I haven't had to use an alarm in years now, and I always wake up at the same time and don't feel like it. Not to mention just how much more productive during the day you can be. I find most people discover this in their mid-20s. Given what I know of how the human brain works, our neural plasticity quiets down and we form our final brain, so to speak, in the mid-20s. It changes a lot of mental incentives for sure. I suspect they're related. On an off note, it interests me to think about how teens, young 20s talk about being 30 and how their life will be over. But many people are content, barring financial, relationship stress, with a new adulting lifestyle when they get there. It's because of this big mid-20s brain switch from my experiences. 16-year you would hate being 30, but your 29-year self won't so much. Generalizations don't fit everyone of course, but many of us seem to be fitting into this. I'm currently in my early 20s and am going through what I can only describe as a sea of turmoil trying to navigate through life. You have no idea how much your comment has given me a sigh of relief. Speaking only from own experiences of course, but don't sweat it. My 30s, my 20s. 20s are a struggle to build a life of your own. 30s are starting to live that life. If that makes any sense. Not only that, but you are so much more comfortable with yourself as a person that you can actually enjoy it. 20s life is so much about building your adult identity while worrying about wasting it and missing out on the tiniest of things, that you rarely smell the damn roses. By 30 you're comfortable with your job and your finances, you're comfortable with your friends and your hobbies, and most importantly, you're comfortable with who you are and what you like. It's also calming to be able to chill on those issues that seemed like the end of the world when you are 22. By your 30s you've lost and then found love multiple times, you've been screwed by the man, but then gotten yours, and you've gained a little perspective on how the world works and how you fit into it. It's a huge relief. The fact that you can cook your eggs in your noodles while you're boiling them. My new technique is to undercook the noodles, crack the eggs into the pot, bring to high boil for a second, take off heat, cover and let sit for 3.5 minutes. Perfection every time. How do you do it? Not OP, but my parents do the same thing. Tastes especially nice with instant ramen. With instant ramen I bring the water to a boil, add noodles and cook for 2 minutes. Crack in one egg, cover, and cook for 1 more minute, then kill the heat and let sit for 1 minute. Firm white with a gooey yellow. I love this. I've been stuck with a lot of noodles beyond the current situation and I absolutely love cooking THRM like this. Often add fresh or frozen veggies. Maybe some chia seeds as a final topping at the end once it's served. You can cook a lot of things in your noodles while you're boiling them, like vegetables, basically anything else that you can cook by boiling. Just look up how long you need to boil each thing, then put them into the pot at different times so they all finish at the same time. Settlers of Catan. My sister is notorious for buying people gifts they won't like, just to try and impose her own interests on other people. This time it actually worked. My husband and I have been playing a lot during the lockdown. Are you playing 2-player at home? If so, you might want to check out their online version, Catan Universe. You can play the base game for free with friends. I personally think the game is best with 4 people. Yeah, my husband has been doing that online version. We found the 2-player rules, and it works out pretty well, though. A friend of mine accidentally introduced me to the Hitachi magic wand when I was helping her move and it dropped out of one of the boxes. She was entirely nonplussed. I think she laughed and said, "My baby." I was somewhat of a prude at the time and was suitably scandalized at her being so open about having X toys, especially the kind that you had to actually plug in like a frickin' kitchen appliance. Yeah, that lasted all of 30 seconds after I bought one for myself on her later recommendation. Hoo boy. The cordless, chargeable wand is a great upgrade. Is it loud? My original one sounds like an old Hyundai stuck in the snow. I still love him though. It's probably quieter, but keep in mind going cordless on a machine that's designed to be a rumbling engine is gonna lose a fair amount of power. The best thing I got out of my business and economics degree was when my friend gave me a John Mayer CD, back in 2002. Literally the reason I started playing guitar. Now it's my career. I love John Mayer. Are you a solo artist? How are you holding up ETH THR current situation? All my live gigs gone. Been really tough actually, as likely for rest of the year. Just trying to adapt. Got a pivot to video, doing live stream gigs and pre-recorded video. Also I'm trying to keep perspective. People in poor nations have been hit so much harder. So I'm very grateful that we have all that we need. Band director checking in, DM me if you ever need a little bit of extra cash flow. I am fortunate to teach music and still be able to have a paycheck. That said, I'm trying to support artists with a little gift here and there, because I know how hard gigs drying up can be. Additionally, I don't know my way around a guitar well enough to teach my jazz band guitar player effectively. I could hire you for some virtual lessons for myself to then teach my kids. I'd be looking for help with blues and pentatonic scales, beginner improvisation, and rhythm guitar/comping techniques. Either way, I wish you the absolute best and hope this turns around quickly so you can get back to the stage. Moments when Reddit feels wholesome.